Folks, we're about to take a deep dive into one of the most legendary muscle cars to ever grace American roads, the 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD 455. Now, if you thought the standard Trans Am was already an intimidating, high-performance machine, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Because this special Super Duty edition took everything that made the Firebird great and cranked it up to 11. We're talking a race-bred V8 engine that could give even the mighty Corvette a run for its money, a bold, aggressive exterior that still turns heads to this day, and a driving experience that was nothing short of pure, unbridled adrenaline. In short, the Trans Am SD 455 was the last true unapologetic muscle car of the golden age, a defiant middle finger to the forces that were slowly but surely strangling the life out of Detroit's performance aspirations. And despite the odds, this Pontiac managed to not only survive, but thrive, going on to cement its place as a true American automotive icon. So strap in, because we're about to explore every nook and cranny of this legendary machine. From its striking good looks to its jaw-dropping power output, the Trans Am SD 455 is a car that's truly in a league of its own. And trust me, by the time we're done, you're going to be begging to get your hands on one. Now, let's start by taking a closer look at the 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD 455's unmistakable exterior styling. Because from the moment you laid eyes on this thing, there was no mistaking it for anything other than a purebred American muscle car. The Firebird's design language was all about power, aggression, and pure, unadulterated performance. Sharp, angular lines, flared fenders, and a long, low-slung hood all combined to create a presence that was both stunning and slightly intimidating. This was a car that meant business, and it wanted you to know it. And the iconic, screaming chicken hood decal? Well, that was just the cherry on top. This instantly recognizable graphic wasn't just a flashy add-on, it was a battle cry, a declaration that the Trans Am was the apex predator of the muscle car jungle. But despite the 1973 model year bringing about some necessary safety updates, the Firebird's core DNA remained untouched. The front end was reinforced to meet new bumper regulations, and a few subtle styling tweaks were made, but the result was still a car that reeked of performance and pure, unbridled attitude. Those distinctive scalloped fenders? Still there. The aggressive pointed nose? Unmistakable. And that long, almost sinister-looking hood? It just begged you to slam the accelerator and unleash the fury within. In short, the 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD 455 was a muscle car in the truest sense of the word. It was all about raw, unapologetic power wrapped in a package that was as visually stunning as it was intimidating. And for the true gearhead, that's exactly what you wanted. Now, as impressive as the Firebird Trans Am SD 455's exterior styling may be, the true heart and soul of this machine lies under the hood. And what a heart it is! A race-derived 455 cubic inch V8 engine that was the stuff of legends. You see, while the rest of the industry was busy neutering their performance offerings to comply with ever-tightening emissions regulations, the engineers at Pontiac found a clever way to keep their prized power plant largely untouched. They exploited a few strategic loopholes in the legislation, making only the bare minimum changes required to squeak by the new environmental mandates. The result was an engine that was an absolute beast, pumping out a staggering 290 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 395 pound-foot of torque. To put that into perspective, that's more power than even the mighty Corvette could muster at the time. It was a true testament to Pontiac's refusal to compromise on performance, even in the face of mounting pressure to do so. But this engine was about more than just raw, unbridled force. It was a meticulously engineered piece of machinery with a beefed-up bottom end, high-flow cylinder heads, and a host of other upgrades that allowed it to truly shine. The engineers had left no stone unturned in their quest to extract every last ounce of power and responsiveness from that massive 455 cubic inch V8. and the results were nothing short of staggering. The acceleration was neck-snapping, with the Trans Am effortlessly catapulting itself down the road, leaving most contemporary sports cars and muscle cars in the dust. Those quarter-mile times? Well, let's just say the SD 455 was consistently putting down low 14-second runs, an achievement that was virtually unheard of for a street-legal production car back in the day. Simply put, this Pontiac was the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing. A car that looked the part of a muscle car, but had the heart and soul of a full-blown race machine. And for the true gearhead, that was the Holy Grail. It was the embodiment of Pontiac's refusal to compromise, a defiant middle finger to the forces that were slowly but surely strangling the life out of Detroit's performance aspirations. So, if you ever find yourself behind the wheel of a 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD 455, be prepared to have your world turned upside down. Because this is a car that doesn't just perform, it utterly dominates no matter the competition. It's the very definition of unrivaled muscle, a true American icon that has yet to be truly surpassed even to this day. Now, as impressive as the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD 455's exterior styling and performance capabilities may be, this legendary muscle car had another trick up its sleeve. A premium, technology-laden interior that set it apart from the competition. Step inside the Trans Am and you're immediately enveloped in an atmosphere of quality and refinement. The cabin is swathed in high-grade, soft-touch materials with plush, deeply bolstered bucket seats that effortlessly cradle you in comfort. The steering wheel is wrapped in supple leather, giving you a tactile connection to the road, while the array of buttons and switches have a satisfying mechanical feel that oozes craftsmanship. But make no mistake, this wasn't just a luxury cruiser masquerading as a muscle car. Pontiac had meticulously blended those premium touches with a host of performance-focused elements, creating a driving environment that was truly unique in the segment. Take the instrument cluster, for instance. It's dominated by a large, prominently placed tachometer, keeping the driver constantly informed of the thundering 455 cubic inch V8's vital signs. And those classic stylized Firebird graphics adorning the center console? They serve as a constant reminder that this is a machine built first and foremost for speed, not just show. Then there are the thoughtful, performance-enhancing details, like the standard tachometer and the available limited slip differential. These aren't just boxes to be checked off on an options list, they're integral components that speak to the SD 455's true purpose as a high-performance machine. Pontiac knew that their customers craved both power and poise, and they delivered in spades. But perhaps the most impressive aspect of the Trans Am's interior is the way it all comes together to create a truly unparalleled driving experience. The supportive, form-fitting seats keep you firmly planted as you carve through corners, while the precise, communicative steering allows you to place the car with pinpoint accuracy. And the thunderous engine note that reverberates through the cabin? Well, it's the aural equivalent of a siren's call, beckoning you to unleash the full fury of that mighty 455 V8. In short, this wasn't just a muscle car, it was a testament to the art of performance engineering. Pontiac had taken everything that made the Firebird great and imbued it with a level of refinement and attention to detail that was truly ahead of its time. And for the lucky few who got to experience the SD 455 firsthand, it was a revelation, a glimpse into the future of what the American muscle car could be. So there you have it, folks, the remarkable story of the 1973 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am SD 455, a true icon of the American muscle car era. From its bold, unapologetic styling to its earth-shaking performance and unparalleled driving experience, this legendary Pontiac embodies everything that made the golden age of Detroit so special. If you're a true gearhead, a lover of raw, unbridled power, then I simply must urge you to keep your eyes peeled for one of these rare, sought-after gems. Because trust me, once you get behind the wheel and feel the sheer force of that thundering 455 cubic inch V8, you'll be hooked for life. Thanks for watching, and be sure to hit the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe to make sure you don't miss our next automotive adventure.